Good morning students. In earlier class I discussed about the structure of neuron. Today I am discussing about the function of neuron, how the neuron is going to function. So just let me draw a structure of neuron that will be helpful in understanding how neurons are going to function. So this is how a neuron is looking. This is the nerve cell, the longest cell in our body. This is the axon region. Myelin sheath is present over the axon, and this is the axonal terminal basically branched, and here knobs, or you can say axonal knobs, are present at the terminal. This is how a neuron is present. Now the next neuron is going to start from this region, and again it is having all the parts, the dendrite part, the axonal part, and the axonal terminal. I am just drawing two neurons for your understanding. Here also axonal knobs are present. So I have drawn two neurons. See, suppose this neuron, this is acting as a sensory neuron. Sensory neuron means they are going to carry a information, or you can say a message, from sense organ to the central nervous system. So we are over here, we are having a sense organ. Suppose it is our skin. When we are going to touch anything with the hot plate, firstly what happens? The sense organs are having specific cells which are known as receptors, and these receptors are going to receive the message, and they are going to convert this message into an electrical impulse, or we also call it as nerve impulse. This is the function of receptor. Now this electrical, from this receptor, this electrical impulse will be taken by neuron. The first structure that of the neuron that is going to take this electrical impulse will be the dendrites. So in neurons, the signal is going to move in form of an electrical impulse or a nerve impulse, and that too first it will be carried by the dendrites from the receptor. That means from receptor, an electrical impulse will be carried by dendrites. These dendrites are going to pass this electrical impulse to the second structure through which they are attached, and that is the cell body, or you can say cytome. So from dendrites the electrical impulse is coming to cell body or cytome. Now this cytome is again attached with a long fiber, that is axon. So next the information will be delivered to the, or you can say electrical impulse will be delivered to the axon, and axon is leading to axonal terminal. So this way, this whole pathway is basically carrying the electrical impulse from receptor to axonal terminal. So this is, they are moving the signal in form of an electrical impulse. Now up to here the signal has reached, but now the problem is basically the next neuron is not connective, that is not directly connected with the previous neuron. There is a slight gap between these two neurons. So electrical signal cannot jump through these gaps. The gap between these two neurons is synapse, and this synapse is creating a problem. So how the message is going to be delivered from this neuron to the other neuron, because they are not directly connected to each other. Now here the signal is going to change. So signal is going to change from the axon terminal to the dendrites of next neuron, and this space is synapse, and how the signal is changing? It is changing from an electrical impulse into a chemical signal. What this chemical signal means? These axonal knobs, they are containing a neurotransmitter, that is acetylcholine. So when an electrical signal is reaching to these axonal terminals, these knobs, acetylcholine will be released into this synaptic cleft, or you can say synaptic region. Now this acetylcholine is carrying the same message as that was present in the electrical impulse, and this acetylcholine next comes with the contact with the dendrites of next neuron. Now the dendrites of next neuron are going to again change this chemical signal into a electrical signal. So again dendrites are having the electrical signal. They will pass it to the cytone, then the axon, and finally the axon terminal. Again at this axon terminal, acetylcholine will be released. It will be passed on to the next neuron. So this region is going to carry the electrical signal that will again change into a chemical signal, again electrical signal, and this process continues, and finally these axonal ends are going to deliver this message to the central nervous system, because it is a sensory neuron. So from sense organs this message is going to move to the central nervous system. Now this message only moves in one single pathway. Means if this is a sensory neuron, this is going to transfer the message in this direction. In the reverse direction the message cannot be moved or transmitted. Reason, the movement of message always takes place, or movement of electrical impulse or signal always takes place in the secretion, in the direction of secretion of acetylcholine. And there is only one single direction of the secretion of acetylcholine, that is from this axonal end to the synapse, or you can say the dendrites are not going to release the acetylcholine in the reverse direction. That's why the message is always moving in one single direction. This is how neurons are going to function. If it will be a motor neuron, the dendrite will be present towards the central nervous system and the axonal terminal will present in the opposite direction, and in the same way they are also going to carry the signal. So this is how the neurons are going to function in our body. Earlier also I talked about the different type of neurons. So this is sensory neuron. Other than this, motor neuron is present, that is going to carry the message from central nervous system to the peripheral central nervous system to the effector organs of our body, and relay neurons are going to connect the two neurons, that is sensory neuron and motor neuron. Let's discuss one more topic, that is reflex action. What is reflex action? Reflex action is a autonomic action or autonomic response of our body, and in this response basically our brain is not involved. A simple example of reflex action is, suppose if my hand touches a hot plate, without even thinking or without even wasting any second, I will remove my hand within a fraction of second, and this response that is coming out is a reflex action. So it is fast and autonomic, and it is thinking is not involved. So the center for reflex action is basically the spinal cord. Whenever brain is there, in brain thinking is there, some of the reflex actions in some of the situations also involves brain, but mostly it is spinal cord that is involved in the reflex action. So this reflex action is going to follow a pathway, means a impulse or a stimulus is coming, this stimulus is moving to spinal cord, finally spinal cord is going to give an answer to the effector organs. So a specific pathway is followed to complete a reflex action, and that pathway followed is known as the reflex arc. So reflex arc will be the pathway that is followed by our nervous system to complete a reflex action. Now this reflex arc is of two types, cerebral reflex and second one is spinal reflex. Cerebral reflex simply means when in a reflex action when brain is involved, that will be the cerebral reflex, and when spinal cord will be involved, that will be a spinal reflex. Generally spinal reflex takes place, and in very few cases, or you can say in complex situations, a situation that can have two consequences. Two consequences, like suppose a hot plate is kept at the edge of the table, and if I am going to touch that hot plate, that means my cells of the hand are going to be injured, but if I am removing my hand, the plate is going to break down. So these are two consequences of one single situation. In such a type of situation, sometimes brain is also involved, that means we think for a second, that is cerebral reflex, and sometimes we without thinking give our response, that is the spinal reflex. So let's discuss how a reflex arc is formed. I am drawing a very simple reflex arc in a sequential manner. For to start with the reflex action, or you can say reflex arc, we need a stimulus. Suppose my stimulus is a hot plate. So there is a stimulus that is present, and this stimulus is a hot plate. That means the stimulus is hot. Now this stimulus is being carried by the sense organs of our body. Say skin, the thermoreceptors of the skin are going to receive these stimulus. The sense organs, from the sense organs, the sensory neurons are going to carry the information. So these will be the sensory neurons, and these sensory neurons are going to deliver the message to the central nervous system. This central nervous system, it can be spinal cord or it can be brain. If it is a spinal reflex, here spinal cord can be written. If it is a cerebral reflex, we can write down brain. Now this central nervous system, it will process the information and it will give a message back, and this message will be carried in this direction with the help of motor neuron. Over here relay neurons are present. This is the relay neuron, and this relay neuron is going to join the sensory neuron with the motor neuron. Now this motor neuron is going to give the message to the effector organ of our body. These effector organs can be muscles of the hand. Suppose I have touched a hot plate with my hand, so motor neurons are going to deliver the message to the muscles of my hand, and these effector organs will finally generate our response. Response will be, I'll move my hand away from the hot surface. So this is how a pathway is followed, and this pathway is basically generating a response against any stimulus, and this is a simple reflex arc. So this is how reflex arc is formed. We will discuss next topics in our later classes.